if I told you that there is a lake that exists in our world and it turns animals into stone? I know this sounds very unreal, but in northern Tanzania, in Africa, there is a lake that exists and it has been famous and known for turning animals into statues or into stone. So if you'd like to discover if this is real or it's just a legend, stick with me till the end of this video. Hi everyone, and welcome back to a new YouTube video on my channel. It's me, your girl, Sarah. Today I wanted to talk about something that has been shocking me, for a while now, and I've been waiting to speak of this for months. Even when I stopped uploading videos, I need to speak about Lake Natron, and finally this day has come. Because this lake, it's another level of magic, guys. Like, I know I didn't answer you, is it real or not? It is real. It's more than just real. It's more than what you have in mind. So without wasting your time, let's just get into the story because I'm too excited and I might just spoil all of the fun in this intro. So let's just get into it. Lake Natron. Our story starts in 2011 when a wildlife photographer named Nick Brandt went to northern Tanzania. By the way, at the time Nick was exploring all of Africa, and then he landed in North Tanzania and to Lake Natron. This is the name of the lake we will be speaking of today. And he took some amazing photographs. I'll be showing you some in here. Yes, keep watching them, but focus on what I'm saying. So these photographs are very fascinating. People were so in love with them, but at the same time they were wondering, are these real animals? Like, not statues, real animals for real? And how come they look so well preserved? You can see their details. It's like a bird was about to fly and it suddenly froze in time. Something turned these animals, specifically birds, into stone. It's the Lake Natron. And this is where the legend started. Lake Natron, a lake in North Tanzania that turns animals into stone. But this is not even the most important part of today's video or topic, because this lake truly turned these animals into stone, but it's more on the scientific and chemistry or chemical side rather than the magic. And I personally believe this is more magical than something that we cannot explain, but things that we cannot explain are still pretty cool. So when I finally understood how it works for this lake Natron, and I wanted to explain it to you in the easiest way. So I want you to imagine that the Lake Natron is in a bowl. It's in a bowl full of water. That's the lake, okay? And when there is water in a bowl, the water is most likely does not have an escape, It's not like it's a teapot or something. It's just in there. As long as you do not interfere with it, the water will remain in there. The only thing it could do is evaporate if there is enough heat, right? When Lake Natron's water evaporates, it leaves. The water is gone. But the minerals stay in there, stay in the bowl. And by the way, the bowl example, we're still in there. Focus. Usually most sources of water, they come from somewhere, right? From a river, an ocean, But in some cases, it's just there. So when it evaporates and its water is gone, its minerals remain in there. And maybe it will gain some other water, when it's like rainy season, it gets more water, the bowl is full. When it's, let's say, heat, summer, peak, the water is gonna be like evaporating and the minerals will be left behind in the bottom of the bowl. So the process we just mentioned of like water evaporating and then they leave the minerals down there, just like when you put a glass of water with some salt in the heat and the water is gonna evaporate but the salt is gonna remain there. It's the same thing. When this process happens again and again and again, the minerals of the lake will be overly concentrated. And of course, the lake's water's pH is 10.5. Usually normal water is neutral. So I read somewhere that some people tried to swim in there and they got some burns, But I just couldn't find any other sources that said people attempted to swim in Lake Natron and this happened to them. So I'm not sure, guys. We need to go there, me and you, someday, and explore it. You'll go inside for a swim and I'm gonna watch. If you don't get burnt or anything, I might consider touching that water. But back to our subject. The minerals are very, very highly concentrated. Now we will get to the sad part, or maybe the happy part. For me, it was happy. The lake does not, like most of the times, it does not kill animals. The animal is dead. And sometimes it's because of the lake itself. The lake's highly alkaline and mineral-rich water, of course, it will touch the remains of the body. Calcium carbonate and other minerals can build up on top of them. It's simple. Trust me, it's that simple. We've got a dead bird near the lake. The lake's water is going to touch the bird and dries on it. And after that, the calcium carbonates and other minerals from the lake will keep building up on top of that body or the remains. And then we've got a body that looks calcified, stoned. You can still see the details, but it is, at the end of the day, a real animal. So no, the lake is not an evil lake. It's just a special lake. Now, after I heard the way the lake is able to turn these dead animals into stone or into well-preserved, calcified things, I kept asking myself, okay, usually animals learn from each other's mistakes. So if a bird sees another bird who suffered from that destiny turning into a stone, they most likely would not go there anymore, right? So how come these birds keep coming back again? That was my question. And by the way, I was unable to find an answer to that, but I found something crazy. There is one animal that lives in that lake. This is fascinating because you will never imagine what animal it is. It is lesser flamingos. They live in Lake Natron. And honestly, I'm speechless. How come these beautiful creatures live in a lake that could turn them into stones? And by the way, I forgot to mention something very important. The pictures that Nick took in the beginning, he said himself, good confession, we like someone who says the truth, he sort of like moved those birds. So there wasn't a bird trying to fly and, you know, it suddenly died in mid-flying and the lake turned it into a stone. No. He sort of like moved the way they were sitting for the photographs, which a lot of people found unethical. It's sad because those birds are dead. Honestly, you wouldn't want to like mess with their remains in such a way. You could have just taken the picture of the way they actually died. But I mean, I will leave that to you. You let me know down in the comments below if he should have touched those birds or maybe just left them the way they were. Let's go back to flamingos. Flamingos adapted to Lake Natron's nature and it became, I mean, a safe environment for them. Honestly, I learned from animals that a good environment to live in does not always have to be a safe one. The fun part is that Lake Natron is the primary breeding spot of, let's say, most of East Africa's lesser flamingos and 3/4 of the lesser flamingos of the entire world. I don't know why these flamingos are going back to Lake Natron, but a lot of scientists say that lesser flamingos really adapted to living in Lake Natron. They got used to the saline and the alkaline and just overall nature, the weird nature of this lake. But wait, okay, this is magical, Sarah, but there's one weird thing you might have noticed about the lake from the pictures I have inserted. It's red. It's bloody red. Why is it red? By the way, there is another place that is red. It's in Antarctica, the red waterfalls. I'm gonna talk about that another day because those look very scary. Horror. It's beauty and horror at the same time. So why is it red? Well, good question. Lake Natron's red color is connected to its unusual environment and the microorganisms who were able to live there. Yes, you are wondering how can they live there? I mean, they can tolerate the high alkaline and saline, as we said before, and these microorganisms, they have a pigment. So when the conditions are right, that red pigmentation shows up. And sometimes people see it as orange, the lake, but I think most of the times it's that sort of red, this sort of red. So when we look at how red Lake Natron is, we are looking at one of the most unusual ecosystems to ever exist on our planet. Even though it looks completely lifeless, it is not lifeless, and there are animals who go there for breeding all the time. Such an interesting fact. Lesser flamingos. Let's have a talk. Why Lake Natron? Like, why? And by the way, I forgot to mention, but this lake, there is like a volcano near it. I translated the volcano's name into Mountain of God. And this volcano is so weird, man. Its lava is very different from every lava in the world. It's got like a dark black color. It's not the kind of lava that we see, you know, the red and orange and shiny thingy. No, it's this. Oh my god. This is insane. And this is the only volcano in history, if I'm not lying, please check this information, that has this kind of lava. It's still dangerous, by the way. It's lava at the end of the day, but it looks different, which is so cool. So we need to go and explore this lake, man. It's got an interesting volcano. It's got lesser flamingos, the bird statues that they passed, sadly. I want to go there. North Tanzania, I'm coming. So even a place that looks so dead has so many creatures living in it, which I find very shocking. But hey, last time when we spoke about the ocean, I was so shocked that so many creatures live in the darkest, deepest, coldest points of our ocean. Interesting, honestly. Our world never stops surprising me. So, does Lake Natron turn animals into stone? It does, but not in the way that we thought it does. It's actually scientific. It's not magic. It's not that the bird touches the water and turns into a stone. No. So the bird dies and sits there for a long time, and the minerals build up on their bodies or remains, and then we have this. This is pretty much it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I love you so much. Leave a comment. Tell me something. You never talk to me. It's just me doing the talking. It's honestly annoying. Anyways, bye.